So then guys, we're on day 2 now of Apple announcing their latest and greatest products, and one of those new products we got is the new MacBook Pros with the likes of the M5 Pro and the M5 Max. And I'm really excited about these because we've been waiting for these for such a long time. And in this video what I want to do today is I want to cover over the differences between the M4 Max to the M5 Max, because obviously Apple have changed the architecture a bit more on their CPU this time round, not just changing and adding cores, but how it actually all works. I'm going to get into that in just a second. So we are going to do a review of specs of the M4 Max versus the M5 Max MacBook Pro. And like I said, I want to show you all the differences that we have got here. And with that, let's get started then. So let's look at the key differences at a glance. So obviously the biggest change here is the M5 Max chip inside. And what we have now is we have this Fusion dual die process now. This is very different how we have it. We don't have the traditional sock anymore. It's dual die now. But what's also coming along with that is the CPU cores. It's an 18-core version of the CPU and it comes with 6 super cores. Now you're probably going to know what 6 super cores. These are Apple's new efficiency cores. So we have 6 of these this time, and then obviously what you'd have is the remainder. So yeah, up to 12 there of the performance cores. So this is what they're calling, not calling efficiency cores, they're called super cores now. So yeah, that is fantastic. Then the memory bandwidth has also been pushed out again. We've now stepped over into the 600 gigabits per second, 614 gigabits per second. This is incredible speeds that you're going to get now with the memory bandwidth and that unified sort of way of how everything works. And this is going to be great for LLMs and things like that too. So yeah, really excited to see how this is going to work out. Ray tracing as well with the GPU for this 3rd generation. Now it's up to 30% faster. This is incredible to see now with ray tracing. This is going to be a big difference compared to even to the 1st generation. You are really going to see a big one. That came out with the likes of the M3 Max. So yeah, big differences right here. Then AI compute now, well, we've been told it's going to be 4 times faster up to that now with this GPU AI this time round compared to the likes of the M4 Max, not alone other previous generations. So this is incredible. Now, what I am going to say is it does look like this M5 Max MacBook Pro is the last of this design. We talked about this before, that an OLED is coming on the next generation. It's the same design that we've had since 2021. So it's the classic design we've had for a good number of years. The 14 and the 16-inch display, liquid retina XDR display here with Pro Motion, mini LED and everything like that. All the ports are exactly the same. HDMI 2.1, SD card slot, MagSafe 3, Thunderbolt 5, on all of those USB-C ports. And yeah, the design is exactly the same, coming around in the silver and the space black colors. And I guess this is something what Apple are seeing right now. There's no compromise, no changes. The display is already perfect in their eyes at the moment. Obviously, I think that's going to change with the OLED. But yeah, it's still really, really good. We do get that liquid retina XDR display, and we actually get up to 1,600 nits now of HDR brightness. And in fact, I believe it can also go up to 1,000 nits standard brightness too, what is brilliant. We've also got that P3 wide color range, Pro Motion again. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely fantastic again, that we've got that amazing mini LED display for one last time. But let's talk about the biggest change, and that is the chip, and it's this new Fusion architecture. So it's a big monumental leap with this new 18-core CPU. So what we now have is 2 3rd-gen 3nm dies connected for massive scale. This is where it's different this time round. So yeah, it's kind of connecting 2 sets of sort of cores together. Maybe this is what they're going to do with the Ultra chip too, who knows. But as you can see here, what we actually have is we have 6 super cores and we actually have 12 performance cores. So the 6 super cores were the old efficiency cores, what we used to get. So this is very different now how Apple are doing this. And it gives us the world's fastest single-threaded performance with those 12 performance cores. It's optimized for power efficiency and multi-threading. And we still also got that 16-core neural engine with the higher bandwidth. And overall, you can see here, Apple claiming in multi-threaded here, it's 15% faster. And what this is probably going to look like then in CPU benchmarks in how we're going to see everything, we are probably going to get at least about a 15% kind of estimated kind of score higher than what we got right now with the M4 Max. Now, obviously, all of this will have to be officially confirmed for the multi-core. Single core performance probably will only be a little bit more higher, but not a lot more. But yeah, obviously, we'll have to wait officially for the benchmarks, but this is a good indicator what we're going to get. And then it's the same here with the GPU metal core performance. You can see here, like I said, we are definitely going to get an uplift here that obviously we are getting around scores probably about 234,000 or so. What's going to be absolutely incredible to actually see here, and ray tracing up by 30%, and like I said, 4 times that AI compute power. But then moving on for memory and efficiency, like I said, we do have an amazing memory bandwidth here, 614 gigabits per second now. This is a huge amount. This is going to be great now for creating, say, 3D scenes or working with them, LLMs and things like this. And 128 gigabytes of RAM, again, is going to be perfect for this if you pick that option. It'll cost you a fair bit because RAM's quite expensive, but you can imagine it's going to be absolutely incredible to have this built into a MacBook. And also, we've been told that this new Fusion architecture delivers up to 2.5 times higher multi-performance than the original M1 Max. So I know a lot of you guys out there have got M1 Maxes still and still think it's incredible, and it is. This is up to 2.5 times more than that. What's incredible what we are getting here. And we've also, again, like I said, got that faster neural engine. So what I'm going to say is the M5 Max worth it? Well, to upgrade to the M5 Max, I would say you need to, definitely be using hardcore GPU power for creative workloads. You need to have heavy 3D rendering visuals or, AI, MLM pipelines. If you're getting into AI right now, this is the machine to get into to future-proof you, especially like we say here for the next 5 kind of years. If you're buying the best or you're buying newest and you want the absolute best, this is definitely the machine that you want to go for. I'd be saying, though, stick with the M4 Max right now. Obviously, it's still extremely powerful for what it is. And I know a lot of people still haven't even maxed out the likes of the M4 Max at the moment. So it still is a great device out there. And I would also be saying, if you own the likes of, say, an M2 Max, M3 Max even, it's possibly not the best option to upgrade at this point. M1 Max potentially, because you're getting up to 2.5 times now. So yeah, it's funny that that kind of sort of comes into the equation a little bit more if you're maxing out the M1 Max, that is, with your workload. This is definitely a good one to go for the M5 Max. So I definitely think we've got some big changes this time round. Obviously, I cannot wait to do some benchmarking tests on this new M5 Max because, yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible in the performance that we've got right now compared to like M4 Max. It's amazing. I really want to see what this dual die fusion technology is all about, how that all works and everything like that, and how much of a difference is those. Because obviously we don't have those efficiency cores, we've got those super cores now. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this all works out and how much more performance that the likes of the M5 Max will give us. But like I said, I'll be making more videos into the future very soon upon its release, as we've seen already from Apple's website that you can pre-order this right now, and the official time we'll be able to get it in your hands is on March 11th. So yeah, exciting times coming up. But really guys, that is the latest and greatest for today. So if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do press the like button, and as always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, comparisons and everything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.